This is a lesson on class, educational attainment, also ethnicity, to do with streaming and setting and the work of David Hargreaves. Failure, labelling, low status, respect, subculture, anti-school, norms, values, and status deprivation. So, what is streaming and setting? What is it? When you put kids in different classes, depending on how clever or how stupid you think they are, top set, middle set, bottom set, setting, also called streaming. What is good about this system? This is meant to help people, putting the people of a similar level of ability in the same room with a teacher who can help them all in the same way at the same time. Sort of sounds like there's some logic to that. And what happens if you're in top set? Well, you like it. You've been labelled as clever. You get lots of respect. You get high status from the school. So you end up conforming to the school rules. You follow you form a little subculture where you do your homework and you wear your uniform properly. You have the same values and norms as the school. Top sets are lovely. Now, the work on all this was done by David Hargreaves. He works as a teacher whilst doing his research, and this increases its validity, its potential truth. And David Hargreaves is an interactionist. We'll do some more stuff on his work at the end of this lesson, on the details of it. But here's what he found. Working class kids are more likely to be put into bottom set. They've not done so well in their tests, so it's decided to put them together in one class where they can be taught by a particular teacher. That teacher then, whether they like it or not, labels those kids in their heads. Oh, these kids are stupid. These kids aren't going to work hard. I'm not going to get good grades out of these kids. They've been labelled as stupid, or perhaps stupid and disruptive. That is giving those kids low status. They are being looked down on. They're given a piece of paper, a timetable that says bottom set in it. It's really public. It's a humiliation. And according to Hargreaves, an interactionist, they are suffering from low status and status frustration. They want high status, and the school is not giving it to them. Now, what's meant to happen? Well, they're meant to work hard, improve, and perhaps get moved up. But that's not usually what happens. Instead, the kids invert, turn upside down the norms and values of the school. They've been labelled as a failure. They've been given low status. So they muck around. And they get their status from their mates, from their peer group. They solve their problem of status frustration and status deprivation by getting their status from their mates, by not wearing a school uniform, by not doing their work, by mucking about in class. They receive high status because of that. And Hargreaves called this an anti-school peer group. It's a result of an anti-school subculture. Different norms and values. Whatever the school wants, you want the opposite. But how did Hargreaves conduct this research? He worked as a teacher in a school for 2 years. Because of that, because he's worked as a teacher, we hope the Hawthorne effect, which we'll do later on, doesn't affect the results so much. He's doing participant observation, he's watching, but it's overt because people in the school, although he's a teacher there, they did know he was doing some research. As well as the observations, he also did some interviews with the teachers and the kids. This is what's called triangulation, using two methods, PO and interviews. And all this together means that his work is thought to be very valid.